The massive alien ship appeared in Earth orbit without warning. It was 3 times larger than any human vessel. Its hull shimmered with colors that changed like oil on water. The world leaders panicked. Many thought it was the end of humanity. Lisa worked as a neural technician at Orbital Station Alpha. She specialized in helping people with brain injuries learn to use adaptive technology. Her lab overlooked Earth, a blue marble hanging in black space. When the announcement came that aliens had arrived, she pressed her hand against the viewport and whispered, "This changes everything." The aliens called themselves the Zinari. They looked almost human except for their opal skin that shifted colors with their emotions and their unusual height, averaging 7 feet tall. Their ambassador Keltor requested a meeting with human medical experts. She explained that despite their advanced technology, the Zinari needed help with one specific problem. Commander Natalie Boyd selected Lisa to join the medical team that would meet with the aliens. "Your work with neural interfaces is the best on the station," Natalie said. They specifically asked about our adaptive technologies. Lisa felt her heart race as she boarded the shuttle to the Zinari ship. The alien vessel interior glowed with soft light that seemed to come from the walls themselves. Zinari crew members nodded respectfully as the human delegation passed, their skin rippling with curious blues and greens. Ambassador Keltor met them in a large chamber with a circular table. Her skin shimmered with formal gold patterns. "We appreciate your willingness to assist us," Keltor said. "The Zinari have conquered space travel energy production and extended life. But we struggle with neural diversity." Lisa leaned forward. "What exactly do you mean by neural diversity?" Keltor gestured and a hologram appeared, showing Zinari brain patterns. "We have members of our species born with different neural patterns." She explained, "Our medicine cannot correct these differences. In the past, such individuals were rarely allowed to live full lives." Lisa felt a chill at the implication. Humans once thought similarly, she said, "but we learned that different neural patterns offer unique perspectives. We developed technologies to bridge communication gaps, not to eliminate the differences." Ambassador Keltor nodded, her skin shifting to a thoughtful purple. "I believe you understand why we have come." She turned toward a doorway. "There is someone you should meet." The figure that entered moved differently from the other Zinari. Her hovering mobility device made of crystalline materials reflected light in rainbow patterns. Her movements were jerky, her color shifts irregular and sometimes painful. Looking, yet she held herself with unmistakable dignity. "This is Princess Ilara, daughter of our supreme leader Keltor," said. Lisa noticed how the other Zinari in the room straightened their postures. Despite the obvious discomfort some showed at the presence of the princess, Princess Ilara navigated her mobility device forward. Her voice came out with occasional pauses and shifts in tone. "We have watched your species for some time. The way you treat those with different abilities interests us. I wish to meet you personally." Over the next weeks, Lisa began working directly with Princess Ilara. The Zinari royal had a condition that affected her neural pathways, making control of her body movements and color shifts difficult. Her brilliant mind remained trapped in an uncooperative body. Human medicine would call it something like cerebral palsy, Lisa explained as they worked together in the medical lab the Zinari had established. "But we stopped trying to cure people long ago. Instead, we build tools that help people live as they are." Ilara watched intently as Lisa demonstrated various human adaptive technologies. Some used eye movements, others used small muscle groups that remained under control. Others interpreted brain waves directly. The princess tested each one, her color shifting to bright, curious yellow when something worked well. "My people see my condition as weakness," Ilara confided one day. Her colors dimmed to sad gray. "They believe I cannot lead because I cannot control my body perfectly. They think different means less." Lisa shook her head fiercely. "Different means different," she said. "Your struggle gives you perspective. Others lack. That makes you more qualified to lead, not less." Something changed in Ilara's expression. Her colors shifted to a deep royal purple, a rare emotional display among the Zenari. "Will you help me?" she asked. "Will you stay and show my people what I can become with the right tools?" Lisa looked into the alien princess's eyes and felt something unexpected, a connection that transcended species. "I promise," she said. Neither of them knew then how that promise would change two worlds, or how soon it would be tested, as weeks turned to months. Lisa designed new interfaces specifically for Zenari biology. She learned that their color shifts could be harnessed as control mechanisms. She built devices that responded to Ilara's emotional states rather than fighting against them. Slowly, Ilara gained more control. Her speeches to her people became more confident. Her ideas about Zenari society more revolutionary. She spoke of inclusion, of valuing all forms of life. Her growing faction of supporters called themselves the Diverse Lisa, and Ilara spent evenings together after work. Was done, Ilara taught Lisa about Zenari art history and science. Lisa shared human music, literature, and philosophy. Their friendship deepened into something neither had words to describe, something that made the stars between their worlds seem less distant. Then came the message from Earth. The new Global Defense Council feared alien influence. They ordered all personnel home immediately. No exceptions. No delays. Lisa argued desperately with Commander Boyd. "I can't leave yet. The work isn't finished. Ilara needs me." Natalie looked genuinely sad but firm. "These orders come from the highest level. Lisa, military ships are coming to escort everyone home. They talk of alien mind control, of protecting Earth from contamination. The political climate has changed." Lisa sent an urgent message to Ilara. The princess arrived at the human quarters, her colors stormy with distress. "Is it true?" she asked. "Are they taking you? I don't want to go," Lisa said, holding Ilara's hands. "But I have no choice. The military is coming." Ilara's colors shifted rapidly, cycling through emotional states too complex for Lisa to read entirely. "Will you come back?" she finally asked. Lisa looked into those alien eyes that had become so familiar. "I promise," she whispered. "I will find a way back to you no matter what." The facility alarms blared. Lisa jolted awake. Emergency notifications flashed on every screen. Multiple objects entering Earth. Orbit. Massive energy signatures detected. Defense systems activated. All personnel report to secure locations. Lisa rushed to the window. The dawn sky filled with light as 50 Zenari ships descended through the atmosphere, their hulls shimmering with that familiar opalescent glow. Each vessel dwarfed the largest human warships. They moved in perfect formation, ignoring the military vessels that scrambled to intercept them. Director Weber burst into her room, his face pale with fury. "You did this," he accused. "You warned them." Before Lisa could respond, the building shook. Security personnel rushed in. "The Zenari ships are broadcasting a message on all frequencies, sir." One reported. It's directed at Lisa. Campbell Weber turned to Lisa, his expression murderous. "Fix this," he demanded. "Tell them to retreat or face the consequences." They brought Lisa to the communication center. The main screen showed the Zenari fleet hovering over major cities around the world, not attacking, simply present. Like a show of force wrapped in stunning beauty. The largest ship positioned itself directly above the research facility. Familiar face appeared on the screen. Ambassador Keltor. Her skin patterns formal and controlled. "Greetings, people of Earth," she said. "We come in peace, but we will not be ignored. We request the immediate presence of Lisa Campbell at diplomatic negotiations." Weber whispered harshly into Lisa's ear. "Tell them to leave our airspace. Tell them we won't be intimidated." Lisa stepped forward. "Ambassador Keltor," she said, her voice steadier than she felt. "I am here under government supervision. I cannot freely join negotiations." Ambassador nodded. "We anticipated this restriction. We propose neutral ground. The United Nations headquarters in 1 hour. Our ships will maintain position until then." She looked directly at Weber. "We have no wish for conflict, but we are prepared to defend ourselves." Your weapons cannot harm us. We have disabled them temporarily. The transmission ended. Weber turned to his security team. Prep a strike team, he ordered. We're not negotiating with these orders come directly from the council. No, Lisa said firmly. If you attack them now, you'll doom humanity. They could have attacked already. They haven't, that means something. She looked around at the frightened faces of the staff. I need to speak with them. Let me try to resolve this peacefully. After frantic communications with world leaders, a compromise was reached. Lisa would attend the meeting under heavy guard. Military forces would remain on standby. The Zenari agreed to withdraw to high orbit, except for one diplomatic vessel. The United Nations building was surrounded by security forces when Lisa arrived. Delegates from major nations filled the assembly hall. The tension was palpable, armed guards at every door. Military leaders huddled in corners, whispering strategy. Global defense. Council representatives watched Lisa with suspicious eyes. A hush fell as the Zenari delegation entered. Ambassador Keltor led the group. 6 royal guards followed, their skin rippling with alert patterns of orange and red. Their ceremonial armor gleamed under the lights. Then came a figure that made Lisa's heart stop. Princess Alara walked into the hall without assistance, her movements smooth and controlled, her skin shifting in beautiful patterns of royal blues and purples. She wore an elaborate crown woven with crystalline materials that caught the light. A royal cape flowed from her shoulders, the symbol of the Zenari. Supreme leader, the princess had become a queen. Lisa felt tears forming as Queen Alara ignored the assembled human leaders, walking directly toward her. The guards raised weapons nervously, but Alara paid them no attention. Her focus remained entirely on Lisa. Lara stopped before her, her colors rippling with emotion. Do you remember me? She asked softly. The disabled alien princess you once promised to stay with. Lisa could barely speak through her tears. I never forgot, never stopped trying to return. Queen Alara took Lisa's hands. We learned what you taught us. That difference brings strength. That adaptation creates resilience. After you were taken, I continued our work. My father saw my progress, my determination. He named me his successor. The human diplomats watched, stunned, as Queen Alara continued. I come to Earth not seeking conflict, but renewal of contact. You taught us humanity was capable of compassion, of seeing value in difference. We believed this truth, despite your government's actions. Director Weber pushed forward. We have concerns about Zenari influence. He began. Your technology, your presence. On our world, Queen Alara turned her royal gaze to him, silencing him instantly. I offer Earth an alliance, she said, but only if you embrace your own wisdom again. Only if you recognize that your greatest strength was never your weapons, but your humanity, your ability to see value in difference. She gestured, and holographic displays activated around the hall, showing Zenari technology, medical devices, energy systems, agricultural innovations. We offer these freely, she said. No weapons, no control systems, tools to heal, to build, to grow. Lisa stepped forward, standing tall beside Alara. We showed them once, she said, we can show them again. The negotiations lasted for days. The Global Defense Council fought against any agreement, but public opinion shifted rapidly as news of the Zenari gifts spread. People remembered the hope that First Contact had initially brought before fear took root. They saw the beauty of the alien ships, the grace of their representatives. Queen Alara insisted on one condition. Lisa Campbell must be freed from government control. She must be allowed to work directly with the Zenari as ambassador and scientific liaison. To build the bridge between our worlds, Alara said. Her different perspective, her ability to see beyond fear. This is what we need. The world leaders eventually agreed, though the Defense Council members resigned in protest. A new era of human and Zenari cooperation began. In a private moment after the agreements were signed, Lisa and Alara stood together, on the balcony of the UN building looking at the stars. I feared I would never see you again, Lisa admitted. The things they wanted me to build. Weapons to target your neural patterns. Alara nodded her colors, shifting to a soft, understanding rose. We knew it is why I pushed myself to master control of my body. To show my people that different did not mean weak. I needed to become strong enough to lead to bring our fleet to find you. How did you do it? Lisa asked. The neural interfaces I left weren't enough to create this level of control. The Queen smiled, a very human expression she had learned from Lisa. I used what you taught me. That adaptation is about working with difference, not against it. Our scientists studied your designs, but instead of trying to make me normal, they built systems that worked with my unique patterns. She gestured to the delicate crown she wore. This amplifies my natural abilities, rather than replacing them. Lisa reached out, touching the crown gently. You changed. Your entire culture. Alara took Lisa's hand, her skin warming with affectionate gold. I had an excellent teacher and a promise to keep. She looked into Lisa's eyes. My father has stepped down. I am supreme leader now. Will you return with me? Lisa will. You help me lead our people into this new era. Lisa felt everything align in that moment. All the struggle, the separation, the fear leading to this choice. I will, she said. I promise to stay. And this time, nothing will separate us. As they stood together, human and Zenari. The first stars appeared in the evening sky. No longer distant, impossible barriers, but bridges waiting to be crossed. The next morning, the announcement was made. Lisa Campbell would return to the Zenari homeworld as Earth's ambassador. The first human to visit another inhabited world, she would bring with her a team of scientists and cultural experts to establish permanent relations. Preparing for departure, Lisa packed the few belongings that mattered, a photo of her family, a neural interface prototype that had started everything, a small plant from her apartment, a piece of Earth to carry to the stars. Olivia hugged her before she boarded the shuttle. Remember us when you're out there, she said. Keep building bridges. Lisa looked back at Earth growing smaller through the viewport as the Zenari ship accelerated. I never thought my work with neural interfaces would lead to this, she told Alara, who stood beside her, that helping people with disabilities would someday help connect two species. Alara colors shifted to thoughtful purple. Perhaps that is exactly why it worked, she said. You saw value where others saw only problems. You built tools to empower, not to fix. That perspective saved both our worlds. The military transport ship Valiant carried Lisa and the other scientists back to Earth. The mood was grim. Most had formed connections with the Zenari. Lisa stared out the viewport until the alien ship disappeared from view. Her hands clutched. The neural interface she'd been developing for Alara. The only piece of technology she'd managed to smuggle out. Earth had changed in the month she'd been on the station. The Global Defense Council now controlled most government functions. Propaganda. Posters warned about alien influence. Lisa saw them everywhere as she was processed through security checkpoints. Their narrow eyes follow you. Always watching. Always different. Trust your own kind. Her apartment in Boston felt small and empty after the vast spaces of the station. She tried contacting her old colleagues, but many had been reassigned to classified projects. Those who would speak with her seemed afraid. Rumors spread about scientists who asked too many questions disappearing into special research facilities. Curfews were established. Civilian spaceflight was suspended. All communications with the Zenari were cut. Lisa watched news reports claiming the aliens had attempted mind control, that they had secret plans to colonize Earth. She knew these were lies but had no way to fight them. For weeks, Lisa continued working on the neural interface, adapting it based on the notes she'd kept. She slept, little, ate rarely. Her mind constantly returned to Alara, to the promise shed. Made she imagined the princess alone among her people, struggling without the tools she'd come to rely on. Then came the knock on her door. Federal agents. Lisa Campbell. The tall woman showed her badge, National Security Division. You need to come with us. They took her to a government facility outside the city. Director Carl Weber met her in a sterile white room. The Defense Council has a proposition for you, he said. Your expertise with neural interfaces is needed. Lisa crossed her arms. What exactly do you want from me? Weber smiled thinly. We're developing defensive measures against alien influence. The neural technology you created could be adapted into something that protects human minds, perhaps even into something that could control a Zenari. Lisa felt sick. This is why you brought us back to weaponize our research. Weber leaned forward. This is about survival. Ms. Campbell, the Zenari represent an existential threat. Their technology far exceeds ours. We need advantages, Lisa thought quickly, realizing that outright refusal would likely end with her in a cell somewhere. I need my lab equipment. My research notes, she said, stalling for time. 2 days later, Lisa found herself in a high-security research facility. Her access was restricted, her communications monitored, but she had resources again and information. The facility housed other scientists from the Zenari mission. Many seemed to be cooperating out of fear. Lisa pretended to work on the weapons they wanted, but secretly, she began building something else, a communication device based on Zenari technology, a way to reach across space to send a message. At night, she whispered to the stars, wondering if Alara looked up at them too, wondering if the princess remembered her. The ache of separation grew stronger with each passing day. On the Zenari ship, Princess Alara faced her own struggles. Without Lisa, the adaptive devices began to fail. Her control slipped. Her opponents in the royal court grew bolder. Their whispers grew louder. See how she falters. The human was masking her weakness. Now we see the truth. Supreme Leader, Zorith. Alara's father watched with concern as his daughter struggled. He had supported the human collaboration but now faced pressure from the military council. The humans had retreated, taken their knowledge, shown their true nature. Alara refused to give up. She practiced daily with the devices Lisa had created before leaving. She gathered supporters, teaching them what Lisa had taught her. That difference brought strength. That adaptation created resilience. A growing movement formed around her ideas. My daughter Zorith said during a private moment, "Your human friend is not coming back. You must accept this." Alara looked at her father, her colors shifting to determined. Blue, I believe she will find a way. And until then, I must become stronger. I must show our people what I learned from her, that my different mind sees solutions others cannot on Earth. Lisa worked through another night. Her secret communication device, nearly complete. She had disguised it as part of her research, a neural stimulator that was actually a quantum entanglement communicator based on technology she'd glimpsed in the Zenari engineering bay. A soft knock interrupted her work. She quickly covered the device as the door opened. Olivia Chen, another scientist from the station, slipped inside. "I know what you're doing," she whispered. "And I want to help." Lisa, others do too. Over the following weeks, a secret network formed. Scientists, engineers, technicians who had worked with the Zenari who knew the truth. They shared information resources. "We call ourselves the Bridge," Olivia told Lisa. "Because that's what we're trying to build." The resistance grew carefully. They sabotaged weapons research, leaked information about government propaganda to underground news networks. Most importantly, they helped Lisa complete her communication device. The night it was ready, Lisa activated it in her private quarters, the soft hum matching her racing heartbeat. The quantum link was theoretical at best. Would it reach across the vast distance? Would Alara still have the paired device she had given? Her Lisa transmitted a simple message. "I remember my promise. I am coming back." On the Zenari ship, Alara was alone. In her chambers, when the small device Lisa had given her months ago suddenly activated, a holographic message appeared. The princess's colors shifted to brilliant joy as she read the words. Her hands trembling, she sent a reply. "We are waiting. Find me again." The next day, Lisa was called to Director Weber's office. "Your progress reports are concerning," he said. "Our monitors show you accessing restricted files, researching quantum communication rather than weapons development." Lisa maintained a neutral expression. "I need to understand Zenari technology to counter it, Director. My research takes many directions. Weber studied her for a long moment. "We know about your relationship with the alien princess, Ms. Campbell. Did you really think we wouldn't monitor your communications on the station? Did you think we wouldn't see your attachment? She was using you." Gathering intelligence. Lisa kept her expression carefully blank. "The Xenari aren't our enemies," she said. "They came seeking help, offering knowledge." The director laughed coldly. "So naive, the council has decided we're sending a message to the Xenari, a demonstration of our resolve. The weapon prototypes will be tested tomorrow. Whether they're ready or not." Lisa felt her blood run cold. "What kind of demonstration?" Response. Weber activated a screen showing military vessels assembling in orbit. "A strike force," he said. "The Xenari will learn that humans cannot be manipulated." Lisa left the meeting, her mind racing. She had to warn Ilara. The attack would destroy any chance of peace between their species. It might start a war. Humanity could not win. That night, the bridge network sprang into action. Olivia helped Lisa strengthen the quantum signal. Other members created a diversion in the facility computer. Systems. Lisa sent an urgent message. "Danger, Earth military preparing attack. Weapons designed to target Xenari neural patterns. Please respond." Hours passed with no reply. Lisa paced her small room, anxiety building. Had the message failed? Had it been intercepted? Then the quantum device hummed. The holographic reply appeared. "Message received. Preparations underway. Be ready." Be ready for what? Lisa wondered. The answer came at dawn. The journey to the Xenari homeworld took 3 weeks through what Ilara called folded space. Lisa spent the time learning the Xenari language, studying their culture, and adapting to the slightly lighter gravity of the ship. The Xenari crew watched her with curious color shifts. Many had never seen a human before. Lisa learned that Xenari society was structured around color clans, groups who shared similar emotional patterns. Their cities were built in concentric rings with the royal palace at the center. Ilara explained that before her ascension, those with neural differences were kept in separate facilities, away from public view. "I will change this," Ilara promised, as they stood on the observation deck watching the strange, distorted stars of folded space. "Those with differences will live among all color clans, their unique perspectives valued." Lisa felt both excitement and nervousness as the ship approached Xenari. After traveling through a final fold in space, they emerged above a breathtaking world. The planet had 3 small moons and rings of crystalline debris that sparkled in the light of the blue-white star. The continents were arranged in a pattern that almost looked designed. When they descended through the atmosphere, Lisa gasped. The Xenari cities rose in spiraling towers of that same opalescent material as their ships. Gardens and parks filled the spaces between buildings. Vehicles moved in organized patterns through the air. No roads marred the natural landscape. The royal palace dominated the central city. Its architecture defied Earth physics, with impossible arches and floating sections connected by bridges of light. Lisa felt small in the face of such advanced civilization. The royal landing platform was filled with Xenari officials, their skin patterns formal and controlled. A group stood apart, their colors shifting in irregular patterns like Ilara's had once done. The diverse faction. Ilara explained, "My supporters. Those who believe in embracing difference." As they stepped from the ship, Lisa felt the slightly stronger gravity of Xenari pull at her muscles. The air smelled of strange spices and minerals. The sound of Xenari music filled the air, bells and crystalline tones that shifted and changed like their skin colors. Ilara addressed her people, her voice strong, her colors royal and commanding. "I return to you as your queen," she announced. "With me comes Lisa Campbell of Earth, the human who showed us that difference brings strength. Her knowledge and perspective will help build our future together." That night, a celebration filled the palace courtyards. Lisa met countless Xenari officials, scientists, artists. Many approached her with cautious curiosity, asking about Earth, about human customs. Some shared their own stories of neural differences, explaining how Ilara's rise had changed their lives, given them hope. An elderly Xenari approached Lisa, his colors faded with age. "I once designed the neural separation chambers," he said quietly. "I believed I was helping keeping the different ones safe. Now I see we were hiding them, denying their gifts." Thank you for showing us another way. Lisa was given quarters in the royal wing of the palace. The rooms adjusted to her needs. The lighting, changing to Earth normal, the temperature cooling slightly for her comfort. The furniture reshaped itself as she approached, responding to her body measurements. The window overlooked the capital city stretching to the horizon. Lisa watched the lights of air vehicles moving like schools of glowing fish through the night sky. This is really happening, she thought. On an alien world. Over the following months, Lisa established the Earth Embassy in the capital. A small team of human scientists and diplomats joined her. They began the careful work of cultural exchange, building understanding between the species. Lisa continued working with Alara, developing new adaptive technologies. The Queen insisted these innovations be shared with both Zenari and Earth. She established the Diverse Academy, a center where those with neural differences from both species could learn together, share perspectives, develop technologies. One day, exploring the palace gardens, Lisa discovered a memorial, a crystalline sculpture that shifted and changed, capturing her likeness from different angles. Alara found her there studying it. This was created during the 5 years you were gone, Alara explained. My reminder of your promise. Lisa touched the sculpture, feeling its warm surface. How did you convince your father to name you successor, she asked. After all the resistance you faced, Alara colors shifted to complex patterns of blue and purple. I showed him what you showed me, she said. That my different perspective allowed me to see solutions others missed. During a diplomatic crisis with another species, I found a path to peace that no one else considered. My father recognized the value in my different way of thinking. During a state dinner, Lisa met representatives from other species that had contact with the Zenari. The diplomatic gatherings opened her eyes to the larger galactic community. Earth was joining. One species, the Morovai, resembled giant mantis-like beings. Their compound eyes reflected light in rainbow patterns. Another, the Thulians, had evolved in water, their translucent bodies containing visible organs. All looked at Earth with interest. The humans were newcomers, primitive in technology, but with unique social adaptations. The way humans had integrated neural differences fascinated them. Most advanced species had eliminated such variations through genetic engineering. But in doing so, they realized they had perhaps lost something valuable. The Zenari shared their medical technology, with Earth cures for diseases that had plagued humanity for centuries. In return, humans shared their cultural adaptations, their art, music, literature. The exchange benefited both worlds. Lisa established regular communication with Earth, sending reports. Cultural analyses technology transfers. The Global Defense Council had been disbanded, replaced by the Interspecies Cooperation Department. Fears faded as the benefits of alien contact became clear. One evening, as Lisa and Alara walked through the royal gardens under the light of the 3 moons, Lisa asked the question that had been growing in her mind. What happens when my work here is done? Will I return to Earth? Alara stopped, her colors shifting to anxious lavender. Do you wish to leave? Lisa took the Queen's hands. No, she said. But eventually the embassy will be established. Earth and Zenari will have their alliance. My role as bridge builder will end. Alara colors brightened. I have been meaning to discuss something with you, she said. The Royal Council has approved a new position. She hesitated, her colors shifting to nervous patterns. Cultural integration, advisor to the Queen. A permanent role if you wish to accept it. Lisa felt her heart race. You want me to stay? Permanently, the Queen nodded, her colors now showing hopeful gold patterns. You once promised to stay with me, she said. Now I ask you to renew that promise. Not as obligation, but as choice. Under the alien moons, standing in a garden filled with plants no human had ever seen before, Lisa made her decision. Yes, she said, this is where I belong. Building bridges between our worlds, life on Zenari became Lisa's new normal. She learned to read the subtle color shifts of Zenari emotion, to navigate the complex court politics, to appreciate Zenari art and cuisine. She began teaching a small group of Zenari interested in human culture. Earth sent more representatives. Some stayed briefly, others remained longer. A human quarter developed in the capital filled with earth, plants, foods, music. A place where homesick humans could find comfort. But Lisa rarely felt homesick anymore. Her home was here now. Together, Lisa and Queen Alara traveled to other Zenari cities. The Queen insisted on visiting the neural separation facilities personally, overseeing their transformation into integration centers. Lisa watched with pride as Alara spoke to her people, explaining the new vision for Zenari society. "This is how we grow stronger," the Queen told them, "by embracing all forms of thought, all patterns of being. The universe is diverse. Our species must be diverse as well to understand it." Word of the Zenari transformation spread to other worlds. Other species began reconsidering their approaches to neural difference. The Thulians requested human advisors to help establish their own integration programs. The Mirovai sent scientists to study the adaptive technologies Lisa had developed, Queen Alara standing before the Galactic Council, her colors royal and confident, announced the formation of the Neural Diversity Alliance. "We invite all species to join us in celebrating difference rather than eliminating it," she said. "Together, we will discover perspectives none of us could find alone." Lisa watched from the observation gallery as representatives from 20 species stood in support, Earth among them. Her work had grown beyond anything she had imagined. That night, as celebrations filled the Zenari capital, Lisa stood on her balcony looking at the stars, thinking of the long journey that had brought her here. Alara joined her, the Queen's colors shifting to warm, intimate gold patterns reserved only for their private moments. "Do you ever regret your promise?" she asked softly. "Leaving Earth for this life?" Lisa turned. To her smiling never, she said, "You once asked if I remembered you, the disabled alien princess I once promised to stay with." She took Alara's hands. "I remember every day, and every day I choose to stay." 10 years passed. The alliance between Earth and Zenari flourished. Human cities now featured Zenari architecture. Zenari worlds incorporated human art and culture. The Neural Diversity Alliance expanded to include 30 species, each contributing unique perspectives. Adaptive technologies developed by Lisa and the Diverse Academy became standard throughout known space. Lisa had adapted fully to life on Zenari. Her role as cultural integration advisor evolved into something more intimate. She became Alara's closest confidant, her perspective valued above all others in the royal court. Some Zenari traditionalists still grumbled about human influence, but most recognized the benefits the alliance had brought. On the 10th anniversary of first contact, Lisa and Alara traveled to Earth for a special ceremony. The United Nations had constructed a memorial in Central Park, New York City, a crystalline structure similar to the one in the Palace Gardens, but larger, incorporating both human and Zenari design elements. As they approached the memorial site, crowds of humans cheered, children waved flags, showing Earth and Zenari united. Many held adaptive devices based on the technology Lisa had pioneered, devices that had transformed life for humans with neural differences. Lisa, now fluent in the language of Zenari, color shifts, could read the emotions of the Queen beside her: pride, happiness, a touch of nervousness. Alara still found large crowds challenging despite her years of growth. The UN Secretary-General greeted them at the memorial. 10 years ago, our worlds met in fear and almost descended into conflict, she said. Today we celebrate the bridge builders, those who saw beyond difference to possibility. Lisa felt strange, returning to Earth. The gravity felt too heavy, the sky too dark blue, the buildings too angular and static. After years on Zenari, she had grown accustomed to the flowing architecture, the shifting colors, the lighter step. Yet something in her heart still recognized this world as her first home. After the ceremony, Lisa visited her old apartment building in Boston. It had been preserved as a historical site, the Lisa Campbell Museum. The guide didn't recognize her at first. Lisa had changed her, skin lightly tinted with Zenari cosmetic pigments that shifted subtly with her emotions. Her movements had the fluid grace of someone accustomed to lighter gravity. Standing in her old living room looking at the preserved neural interface prototype, Lisa felt the weight of the journey. A technician helping people with brain injuries became the bridge between worlds. The small choices that led to cosmic changes. That evening at the reception in the UN building, Lisa met with former members of the Bridge Network. Olivia, now Minister of Interspecies Relations, hugged her tightly. "You look more Zanari than human these days." She teased. Lisa smiled, in some ways perhaps. "As you look more diplomatic than scientific." They laughed together, remembering the dangerous days of secret messages and resistance. The world had transformed so completely it seemed like ancient history. A young woman approached Lisa hesitantly. She used an adaptive device based on Zinari technology. Her movements reminded Lisa of Alara. When they first met Miss Campbell, the young woman said, "I wanted to thank you. Because of your work, I can attend university study xenobiology. I hope to visit Zinari someday." Lisa felt tears form. "You will be welcome there," she said. "The Diverse Academy accepts human students every year." The young woman beamed, her adaptive device shifting colors in a pattern that mirrored Zinari emotional display. A small cultural exchange happening right before Lisa's eyes. The Earth visit concluded, with a private meeting at the rebuilt orbital station Alpha. Lisa and Alara stood at the same viewport where Lisa had first heard about alien contact, looking down at Earth, a blue marble against black space. "We have come full circle," Alara observed, her colors shifting to contemplative blue. Lisa nodded. "The beginning of our story," she said. "And now we write the next chapters." Upon their return to Zinari, Lisa found herself contemplating legacy, what would remain of their work after they were gone. The alliance between worlds seemed stable, but would it last? She discussed these thoughts with Alara during their evening walks through the palace gardens. "I have been considering something," the queen said, her colors shifting to serious purple patterns. "The Zinari royal succession." Lisa nodded, understanding the concern. Alara had no children. The traditional path of succession would return to her cousins, many of whom still held traditional views about neural differences. The Neural Diversity Alliance needs continued leadership. Alara said, "We cannot risk returning to separation. How can we ensure what we built survives us?" They established the Galactic Integration Academy, a center for leadership training, open to all species, focused on neural diversity and inclusion. Located on a neutral world, the Academy would train the next generation of leaders, diplomats, and scientists. They handpicked the first class of students from 20 worlds, including Earth. Lisa took particular interest in mentoring students. Some reminded her of herself as a young technician. Others had Alara's determined spirit despite physical challenges. The teaching brought her new purpose. She was no longer just building bridges, but teaching others how to maintain them. 20 years after first contact, Lisa noticed the first signs of aging. The Zinari lived longer than humans. Advanced medical technology slowed her cellular degradation but could not stop it entirely. Gray streaked her hairlines formed at her eyes. Alara noticed with concern her colors shifting to worried turquoise. Whenever Lisa seemed tired, "I should have anticipated this," Alara said one night. "We focused so much on neural differences, we forgot the differences in our lifespans." Lisa took the queen's hand, whose colors had not faded with age. "The time we have is enough," she said. "It has to be." The Zinari Medical Council worked to extend Lisa's life using technologies developed for neural integration. They created nanites that repaired cellular damage, stimulated regeneration. The treatments helped, but Lisa still aged faster than the Zinari queen. 30 years after first contact, Lisa and Alara stood together on the balcony of the royal palace. Their decades of partnership had transformed known space. The Neural Diversity Alliance now included 50 species. The adaptive technologies they pioneered had evolved into standard tools used throughout the galaxy. Lisa leaned on a cane, her movements slower, her hair white. Her eyes remained bright, her mind sharp. The medical treatments had given her many extra years, but human biology had limits. Alara still appeared youthful, though her responsibilities had added depth to her color patterns, wisdom to her eyes. "Do you remember when I asked you to stay with me?" Alara asked softly. her colors shifting to nostalgic gold. When I was the disabled princess who needed your help. Lisa smiled. I remember every word. Ilara took Lisa's weathered hand. I never imagined then what we would build together, how far we would go. Beyond the palace, the capital city glowed with lights. Air vehicles moved in graceful patterns. Buildings shifted colors with the mood of their occupants. In the center of the main plaza stood a massive sculpture, a human hand and a Zinari hand reaching toward each other. Not quite touching, but creating something new in the space between them. From that balcony, they could see the spaceport, where ships from 30 worlds regularly arrived and departed Earth vessels now, incorporated Zinari technology moving through folded space with ease. The galaxy had grown smaller, more connected, the barriers between different falling away. Lisa looked up at the stars once so distant now, familiar as the lights of home. I was. Afraid once she admitted, afraid I would regret leaving Earth. Afraid I would always be a stranger here. And now Ilara asked, her colors shifting to curious lavender. Now Lisa said, I understand that home isn't a planet, it's people, it's purpose. I've been home since the moment I promised to stay with you. As the 3 moons rose over the Zinari capital, Lisa Campbell, human ambassador, bridge builder, teacher, smiled at the queen beside her. Together, they had rewritten the story of 2 worlds of an entire, sacred galaxy. They had shown that difference wasn't weakness but strength. That promises kept could change worlds. That night, as they walked slowly through the royal gardens beneath trees that shifted colors with the moons, Lisa stopped beside the memorial, the crystalline sculpture that had once been created in her absence. Now it shifted between 2 figures, human and Zinari, standing together. Ilara, colors warm with affection, whispered, Do you remember me? I'm the disabled alien princess you once promised. To stay with. Lisa leaned against her partner, her home, her purpose, and replied, I remember and I always will.